keep on going. All right, push day. And I've done one of these with commentary. We'll see if the mic decides to pick it up. Jeez. I'm feeling better. I say last week when I had this push day, felt like real piece of work because I was really sore from working in the warehouse at my kind of newer job. Actually, it's pretty new still. I mean, I've only had it for like under a month at this point, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, that felt nifty enough. Okay, 50. Let's go 60. See what we can do with that. Should be good enough, I would hope. We'll see what happens. Oh, there we go. Jeez. Okay. Drop set. Whoa. Okay. Oh, jeez. I'm ready. So these are kind of like I don't know how to describe them. They're like a tarp-esque material, these pants. And they're already quite sweat-prone, I can feel. All right. Oh, jeez. God. Run. No. Fudge. Ow. Currently jamming hard to Proud Mary. Phenomenal song. And pardon me, like, to sing along with it, I very well could. The only problem there being copyright claims. Not sure if they'd pick it up. These would be my lovely voice, but who knows. Okay, but anyway. I can move this to these. Oh, golly. Ow, okay. Feeling that one. Oh, lordy. Shucks. Okay. Ouch. Those things are killers. Well, now time to actually do the pushing portion of the push. Okay. Alright, last time I did these, it was not the prettiest thing ever. Like, I was dealing with some elbow twinges, so we really worked actually with the 80s compared to like the 90s and hundos, but that's whatever. Let's see if today's our day. This is warming up with 70s. Yeah. It feels relatively light. Just stability is weird. Okay, we'll kind of set these over here for now. Whew. Okay. All right. A little nervous. I'll be happy with 3, admittedly, because I'll be better than like the 1 I got last week. All right. Okay, that was expected. Shucks. Rats. Oh God. I hope I give myself enough rest time. We'll figure it out. All right. Okay. Let's shoot for a total of 7 sets would be probably safe. Something like that. We're down to the 80s because I'm realizing this bench, the lowest it can go is higher than my usual quote-unquote incline setup, which I'm starting to realize is more probably flat, you know, not flat, but like more full chest oriented, because I can only do so much when I was repping out the hundos when the incline was lower. So, you know, we're kind of humbling ourselves accidentally, but it'll be a net positive. All right, here we go. I'm trying to be a little bit more careful with the dumbbells too. Kind of slammed them a little bit too much last time. Oh, shucks. Alrighty. We're, say, doing a converging incline press. I say, definitely, you know, hitting 2 chest things back to back, kind of crazy, but it's what we do. But yeah, so kind of gonna have a more stable oriented, say stable oriented, a more stable kind of movement. Gonna be theoretically, I'm gonna be using my chest a bit more than my delts in that last one, which, and the pump does go crazy. I had a little, at a quarterly meeting before this, just discussing Q1 of the shower company I'm working for, and all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, we're looking phenomenal. A lot of the numbers that I saw were pretty great. Expansion's gonna be awesome. But yeah, now this. So now we got 90. It's nothing too crazy, but enough. Like, I'm okay if I hit higher reps for this one because I just need to feel my chest more.
That's weird. Yeah.
All right, that's actually too light. We're shooting up to 110. What? Crazy numbers. Okay. Whew. Ah, shucks. No, okay. Okay, we gotta drop set it. Mistakes were made. Oh. So 4. 5. 6. Okay. We'll call that with 1 rep in reserve. I could have gone 1 more, but well, next one I'll be able to kind of time it out a bit better. Here we go again. This time, hopefully not with a drop set. That'd be pretty baller of me if I could pull that one off. All right, but 100. See what happens. Of course, focusing on the whole chesty majesty. Which, what else would we focus on? I don't know. There's not a lot of talk I can really feel like you can do in between these sets. It just seems kind of pointless. But anyway, whew, my back is sticky. It's humid. Here we go. Oh, jeez. No. Oh, God. Okay. Yeah, I felt that enough. All right. Whew. I'd say I just literally just been Proud Mary on repeat the entire time so far. And then tricep extension, because contrary to popular belief, at least in my opinion, there's a difference between a push down and an extension. I might go over that. I don't know. You know what, actually, let's go over it. So, I do both an extension and a push down in this whole ordeal. The extension, of course, well, not of course, so I find extension to be kind of a, it's hard to put out, so more or less, I find extensions to be, they target more of the, this part of the tricep. I'll probably throw up whatever head it is, because I can't remember off the top of my head. I know, but not right now. So that's usually the case. And then I find that push downs, things like your jam presses, to target more of this outside portion, while the inside portion is more extension driven. A very simple way to explain, I think, things simpler. Push downs are going to be things that are in front of the body, kind of deal, while extensions are going to be things that kind of are more elbow to the side oriented kind of deal. They're like more closer to your body opposed to out in front or behind, so there's that. All right, anyway, time for the actual extensions as I intended to get going. Yeah. All right, gotta boost it up a little bit. Alrighty. Oh, geez, that may be a bit too much. It's gonna be a bit too much. All right, we're goofy today. All right, let's actually do some actual sets, or reps, I guess. Ugh. 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 Gosh darn it. Okay, started a bit heavy, but that's all right. Oh gosh. All right. Oh. And because there's a bit of an imbalance, we're going to be only doing one kind of set of the lighter drops that weight for the right arm. You might be able to notice. I want to do my front double bi. My tricep dips lower on the right arm. Okay. Oh, gosh. Gosh dang it. Whew, final chest movement of the day. Chest fly, pec deck, whatever you want to call it. Ah, yeah. Oh, smokes. Wow. And yeah, looking dense, feeling dense. Happens. All right. Gotta be a bit higher. It's a very loose seat also. Ah, shucks. There we go. Oh, Jesus. All right. Okay. Oh, ow. I don't even know why I did that last little weird kind of pass failure ordeal. I don't know. I felt like it. And it felt. Not the widest shoulders. How unfortunate. I said my clavicles are just like a smidge wider. It'd be game over, gosh darn it. Give Keon Pearson a run first money. Not really though. That guy is insane. I am incredibly sane with my physique, so they're not there. Oh yeah, here we go. Third to last set. Yeah, we'll keep it 180. I was thinking about jumping. Can't even see my face. I was thinking about jumping up to 200. We're not gonna do that. Wow. Pretty nifty lighting here. Haha. It's okay. I'm okay. I'm very All right. Oh shucks. Whew. I feel like I need to be even higher up. Ah, shucks. Oh gosh. Feeling that one. Oh. Okay. Oh shucks.
They could call a carry all.
All right.
The game evolves all the time.
Oh God.
It's about
And like poetry, we're starting where we ended. No, we're ending where we started. Took a little bit to get there. But yeah, simple push downs. Usually supposed to be a JM press, but once again, a little bit of left to right arm, weird things going on. So what are we gonna do? Unilateral work. Simple as that. Oh, my elbow just popped. And of course, need a little bit more weight. Oh. I always overshoot it when I need to go up a little bit. Whew. Oh, golly. I just like to feel their reps. Ow. Hope that looks okay. And then, still intense, but just a little less for the right arm. It's just better built. Oh, Jesus. The most stable? No. Should I fix that? I don't know. I think it's fine. Alright, and because I'm feeling a little special, we're going to end up doing just a typical, bilateral cable push down. Try some push down. Just for sake of stability. There'll be an emphasis on the left tricep when it comes to the eccentric motion, but other than that, it's going to be pretty typical. Yeah, going to keep it a tad bit lighter so the control can be a bit better. I kind of looked back at my form. It's a little loose and a little silly. That's okay. All right. It should be okay. Whew. All right. Oh gosh. Okay, stable but heavy. Alright. That's it. Oh god. Oh. Alright, so this portion right here was supposed to be like a Q&A that I recorded like a little bit ago, but to put it mildly, got a little busy, and also, I got a lot of mail. So, these are different products and stuff that, TikTok shop guy thing, so I gotta pop these open and make a fair bit of videos, just being like, hey, look at these items, look at these things, so let's get right into it, shall we? Yes, we shall. And the thing is, I can't remember exactly what I got. I just kind of apply for whatever looks appealing, and I feel it'd be worth promoting, or at least getting, kind of deal. So, we'll kind of do it package by package. Starting off with a button-up tee by Kufandi. All right, cool. I might actually have, I think, maybe a tank top or two by him. This sounds kind of familiar, but let's pop this sucker open, shall we? Boom. Yeah. Well, that didn't kind of rip off as nicely as I'd like it to, but obviously we're not here to judge the little packaging thing, but dang. Oh, okay. I mean, right off the bat, one of the nicer button-up shirts I've gotten in my life. Let's kind of pop the sucker on real quick, because I think the way this one was promoted was like muscle conforming or something, so I kind of got a size, something a little smaller than I usually would, because theoretically the way it should fit, it nerfs the gains, but, you know, actually, for what it's worth, it hugs everything fairly nicely, kind of deal. That's pretty baller. This is pretty cool. Noted. This is actually, and this feels really nice too and really airy. Also, I enjoy the little whole things. You know what? I'm here for this pretty nifty stuff. Maybe I should have gotten a size larger, but for the time being, this fits quite well. So, yay for that. So, you got a button up. Oh my golly. To have this much mail, to have it be free is crazy to me. Guys, I'm an influencer or something. It's insane. But anyway, let's see what we got next. Alright, now we got something that's Kufandi again. And what the hey is this lightly blued color item? I definitely don't remember what this one is. And that's okay, because I'm about to discover. It's like Christmas, except it's like April or something. Alright, so, is it 2 separate shirts? It is indeed 2, oh my golly gosh. Oh yeah, I remember these now. They are hooded cutaways, essentially. So, you know, could make for a nice pump cover. Yo, okay, for what it's worth, I like how light it is. So, yeah. I enjoy this. Yeah, you know what? I vibe with this. That's actually really nice. And I do have something like this from Gymshark, but it doesn't have the front pocket, and I do like me that front pocket. Okay, you know what? That's pretty nifty. We got this in a gray, and also in a nice blue. So, you know, 2 colors that, do they go well with orange? Beats me, but next package. Hubba. There's so, I'm reeling from the fact that there's so many of these. Here we go. What we got now? I have 0 idea. What the heck is this? Oh, wait, it's this shirt. Haha. Yo. Chicago. The shirt. Huh. Yeah, you know, for what it's worth, it's kind of, I think, flipped for y'all, but I don't recall. I don't remember who I got this from, but this goes hard. I say, yeah, you know, that's actually pretty nifty. I'm a big fan of large shirts and big pump covers, so yeah, I'm excited to wear that one to the gym and stuff. Yeah, pretty dang baller. Wow, it's absolutely murdering these packages. All right, what's next? Another cool shirt with another cool design by the looks of it, and by the packaging being the same, I'd assume the same seller. Let's see what they're giving us today. Oh my, I love the feel of this. This is pretty baller, I gotta say. What in the world are we working with? Oh yeah, it's a skull with something in it. So hard and dark and scary. Ooh, oh man, but you know, part of me, so I'm not your typical like God kind of dark guy. So I mean, part of me, you know, want to fit in a little bit more or less, and yeah, no, I'm vibing with this. Also, I dig kind of the stretchier material of the shirt, And as you may know, some of these things I've ordered, some of them, a bit more form-fitting, some of them a bit larger. I plan on getting larger, so the goal is to hopefully grow more into these things. That way, when I get larger, I'm not out scrambling to buy new clothes. All right, let's see what we got next. Ugh. Where the hay? There we go. Next, I assume another shirt. I'm loading up. Let me tell you, this is kind of crazy stuff right here. I'm gonna have black t-shirts for days. Oh my gosh. This one is so much cooler than I thought it would be. Oh, Alice in Chains, baby. Heck yeah, dude. Jarfly's album cover t-shirt. Once again, freaking huge as all heck. But oh my gosh, this looks so much better than I thought it would. Like, this, and then the quality of the shirt. Holy smokes, I am so happy. Look at this. I've been getting into kind of the 90s grunge movement. That's something I've been getting a bit more into. Been listening to more Deftones and, Nirvana, Pearl Jam, things like that. Mainly because my girlfriend likes that kind of music, so I've been, acclimating myself to it a bit more, I think is the proper terminology. And yeah, to put it mildly, just been vibing with it. Saw that shirt, went, heck yeah, that's pretty baller. Maybe can loan it to her sometime. So heck yeah, that is an awesome shirt. All right, we got another shirt here. It just don't stop, won't stop. Go out to the parking lot. The Rapture by Blondie, really interesting song. I'd recommend it. But next shirt we have. Pretty, typical white tee. But then, boom, Angel Falling, Revelations 16:9. I can't. But yeah. So I mean, it feels really nice. It looks honestly like really cool as well. So excited. Another pump cover, always good to have on hand. And to be completely honest with you guys, I ain't a church dude. I'm not too fond of religion in general. So. I can vibe with some of the Bible verses. I think they have good messages, but you ain't gonna see me saying hallelujah and what's it to ya, stuff like that. That just ain't me. I don't look down on people who do, but that just ain't my cup of tea. But amazing looking shirt, I gotta say. All right, next. Oh, are these okay? Yep, there we go. So this company sent me a compression t-shirt kind of deal. And I was very hyped, compression tee, I'm wondering what it can look like on the frame, ha ha ha. And I ended up getting it, it's like 3XL, and I'm like, I think for a compression t-shirt, I don't remember sizing up that much, because the most you'll ever see me do is a 2XL, and that's really only with sweaters kind of deal, maybe some t-shirts. I think actually a couple of these t-shirts are 2XLs, but yeah. So we get just general XL compression tees kind of deal. And I am hyped because, yeah, first time, even the first one I got, felt amazing. This feels amazing. We got a white one, and then here, we got a black one kind of deal. Just for sake of time, we're just going to kind of keep her going. But super hyped for that. And then, USPS, they care. Apparently something happened to this package. I don't know exactly what, but on the bright side, it's a t-shirt. So I really doubt that, anything too terrible happened to it in transit, that this warranted a "we care, we got you" from the United States Postal Service. But let's see what we got going on here. Another shirt. Also looking very baller. I got it. I am a big fan of these designs. I don't really treat myself and get some nicely I say modern kind of tees and stuff. So it's kind of cool that I have a couple. Maybe I can blend in a little bit more with the typical, gym bro. So, black front, that's pretty baller. Holy smokes. But then the back. Oh, yeah, that is awesome sauce. Yeah, no, then of course I got this in a 2XL. Woo. But yeah, no. This is awesome. This looks and feels sincerely really good. I'm so hyped to wear these to the gym. this is awesome. I'm very thankful for all these companies for, taking the gamble on me. I gotta get some videos out, and I think I have a couple products that I might even have that might be a little on the late side for that video ordeal, but, we're gonna get them out as fast as possible kind of stuff, and I'm gonna have a pretty hefty day of filming, I would assume, Monday. Today is currently Friday, so we'll get there when we get there. But now, with that out of the way, time for the Q&A portion. All right, so first question, and this is kind of a joke. Someone just said this is the thing. These Q&As right now are literally me finding any questions in any of my comments or something like that across my social medias, and then just deciding to work with them more or less. So this one is, why are gingers always so built? Why are we the way we are? I couldn't tell you. I feel like for a lot of, redheaded people, ancestry tends to, be of European descent, maybe more near kind of, your Ireland, your Scotland, your British kind of area deal, but it's not just going to be that. So, but, more than likely you're going to find it in that kind of realm of the world where you get that redheaded kind of mutation gene thing. Apparently, people with red hair have a higher pain tolerance kind of deal, from what I've maybe read. So there's a chance that by having that kind of, pain resistance, along with some, typically having some more Irish kind of Scottish heritage where, they have the Highland games and stuff and things like that. We might just be prone to, like, having some, like, kind of, I don't know, a little bit more beef to us genetically, along with having that pain tolerance to push a little harder for our workouts. That's my assumption. I really have no idea. All right, next. What is my favorite pose to hit? That's a toughie. It depends on the lighting, to be completely honest with you. But as of late, front double bi has just been hitting very nicely. I mean, as you've seen a couple times, like, the biceps they're kind of getting a little bit taller. Stuff like that. The lats have a nice bit of sweep to them, so they come out nicely. Back double bi is also coming together something fierce. My mid-back and traps they're really kind of coming to, and then also my legs are coming to a bit more as well. So, especially my hamstrings are probably definitely, I think, a bit better looking than the front portion of the quads and stuff. So, with that in mind, I would have to give, the overall win. I enjoy kind of seeing my rear double bi, I think, more than the front. But the front, I'm able to have more of an X-frame. The back, it's not that I can't. It's just like I got to do a little bit more adjusting with my posing to really make that happen. So, we'll just call it the double bicep poses for the time being are currently the faves. This one's a good one. Did I start off skinny or fat? It kind of depends on when you ask, but technically, well, not technically. So a little kind of body composition history for you. I might have some photos to throw up, but, kind of not throw up, but, put up on the screen kind of deal. Started a bit heftier kind of deal. Kind of hit that elementary middle school thing and just, was a bit chunkier. That's kind of how I was. Then I made to high school, and I got thin from, like, cross country and other things, school, and, calories weren't as, boom. So pretty much, like, what had, by the time I started lifting, I was skinny, is kind of how it was. But that, I know I have photos of that, so boom, there's me looking how I did when I first started. And pretty much, from there, just kind of lifted, and then, got a little fat, cut back down, got a lot fat, cut back down to my show, and now we're currently at this body composition kind of deal. So, yeah, skinny, I would have to say. All right, what is my most niche yet helpful workout advice? It's hard in the world of lifting. A lot of things, like, yeah, there's, like, nuance, but, like, it's very kind of black and white compared to a lot of different topics. Yeah, you can find, gray areas within that black and white kind of deal. But the principles of it are pretty sound. There's not, if I had to think about it, what is my most niche kind of thing of advice? Maybe not niche per se, but maybe something a lot of people wouldn't necessarily say is, like, necessary. Mind-muscle connection. Now, this is one of the things that a lot of people will say, screw it, that doesn't mean hypertrophy if you can feel it and hubba-dubba-da. Yeah, true, but also in that same kind of vein, if you can really feel what's happening within your body, there's a better chance that stuff is actually happening kind of deal. Because let's say, you're doing some curls, and, like, they're heavy curls, and maybe your form's getting a little kind of iffy kind of deal, and you're chucking those suckers up. You might find that, it's like, I'm lifting heavy and stuff, but, your biceps aren't really growing.
And, you know, it's like, oh, shucks, I don't know what's really happening. Well, you're kind of throwing the weight up, kind of. All right, how much of your bicep are you really engaging throughout that kind of exercise? How many motor unit recruitments are you making, kind of deal, you know? So the idea behind, like, actually, you know, the mind-muscle connection is that it's like, yeah, you might have to dial down the weight a little bit, but at least you know, like, you're effectively hitting the muscle if you can feel the muscle being worked. And of course, there's like a wrong way to do that where it's like, you're just like, where you're just doing it for the sake of the pump opposed to like lifting. So keep the weight heavier, but don't go too heavy in which you can't like feel stuff happening is kind of what I have to get behind, more or less. So yeah, the mind-muscle connection, even though not really a scientifically proven thing, still very important in my opinion. Now this one, how many cuts and bulks have I done since I began training? Oh, shucks. Okay, so, kind of had a bit of an accidental cut, when I first started lifting, because I was also training to do marathons at the time. You know, former distance runner. So, did that. Got kind of to the winter area of things, realized I realized I was pretty thin, bulked up all the way then to summer, kind of deal, cut that summer, bulked really heavy that following fall kind of deal. This was the fall of 23, I started back in the fall of 22, and then, you know, we dirty bulked all the way to January, had a mini cut, lost 20 pounds, you know, in the span of the month of January. And then from there, kind of held maintenance up until, like, I think May. And then from May to September, I did a kind of stage prep kind of deal. So that was an entire cut from there. And then a little bit of a heftier bulk kind of deal. And it was an accidental one. I kind of binge ate very heavy for a couple days. Bulked up to around kind of that 165-ish mark. And then from there, it's been more of a consistent kind of putting on growth phase, weights thing, lean bulk kind of situation. So that's kind of how we went about it. Definitely this last growth phase has been the best out of all of them because, you know, I got the diet locked in, training's a lot more informed with what I'm doing, and things are just going a whole lot better. So I don't know exactly how many of each that is, forgot to count, but that's kind of how the whole cut bulk thing has been up to this point in time. Then another thing, we got thoughts on rep ranges. I'm personally a 5 to 10 kind of guy. I understand things can happen at the 4 rep range. I understand things can happen at, you know, the 11 and up rep range. But with the literature we have, and just also considering humans are going to be human, I think staying in a, like, kind of a nice range of 5 to 10 is just going to be beneficial. If you want to go heavier, I think 5 is great. I think 4 just leaves room for things to be a bit sloppy. Like, a lot of the people that I see doing that kind of 4 rep range deal, it's just one of those things where it's like, unless you're like a pretty dang advanced lifter and your stuff is like locked in so nicely, I just don't really see it happening. And a lot of people, like, it's kind of funny because we kind of gone back to ego lifting in a sense, which is kind of lame. But people are going to do that, and then, like, even though it's lower rep ranges, how effective is it really in the grand scheme of things? So we just got to take into consideration all these different factors. So for me, 5 to 10, like, you really can't go wrong hitting anywhere between that. Like, personally, I might even go a bit more for the 6 to 10 rep range, but, you know, to each their own. Going to 5 is my little give to the people who, like, say 4 reps is enough. I don't really believe that, though, so. All right, and then we had 2 guys on the Insta kind of ask us, like, what do I do for my lats? Because, you know, the front lat sweep has gotten significantly better. The back's getting better, you know, day by day kind of deal. So what am I doing to make those body parts, like, kind of pop, as they've been doing more often? So the lat exercises I do, currently, I just switched up my split, so it's going to be different than what I'm going to be doing in the future. But what I had been doing for my push-pull legs, upper lower kind of thing I was doing, we would have 2 sets of a kind of lat biased kind of row variation. It would be, yeah, the chest supported. It would be a cable one, something like that, but a machine oriented kind of lat biased row. And then with that, the high to low row would be another thing I would do as well. 2 sets of those, and then lat pull downs, 2 sets of those, and then within that kind of, you know, 5 to 10 range. It's supposed to be like 5 to 8, but it depends on how my joints were feeling on the day. I might go a little higher and lower the weight so I don't hurt myself. So those are the ones. Trying to think of anything other lat specific stuff. Lat pullovers. Those are another thing that I've been doing as well. So yes, lat pullovers, high to low rows, cable kind of, or just lat bias kind of row variations. And then along with that, those are, I think, are kind of it. It's not too much, to be completely honest with you, in the grand scheme of things, but it works. Not gonna diss on it because things have evidently happened with my back. So those are the things I do for my lats.